Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing and ranking the top 5 underrated guardians in Disney Mirrorverse. So let's get straight into the video. So coming in at number 5 is Snow White. Now Snow White is such a good melee guardian, but she's very underrated towards many players in the game. Many players see guardians such as Ariel or Aladdin and they instantly get drawn towards them through tier lists. But Snow White, she's really good. Now, Snow White, she gains a thorn charge every 5 seconds, gaining 10% defense, and this stacks up to 50%, so it stacks 5 times. And when Snow White gets hit by a melee and tank guardian with basic or heavy attacks, she loses one of those thorn charges, and she instantly deals 100% damage to her opponents. So you want to stack up these thorn charges, and every time a melee or tank guardian hits Snow White with a heavy or basic attack, one of those thorn charges get taken off and it deals 100% damage to the enemy. So heavy attacks deal wounds. Wound is really important in Disney Mirrorverse. It's just an easy way to get damage. The more thorn charges you have, the bigger chance to get the wounds, and it increases the amount of damage it does. She also has lore, so overall she's a really good melee guardian to have. That thorn damage is just so good, it stacks up, and also you got that wound as well. So coming in at number 4 we have Dory. Now Dory cleanses damage and debuffs. She has huge knockback on heavy, so the strategy is just to use heavy and it just knocks back all of your enemies. She's such an underrated guardian. When I first used her, I wasn't 100% sure on her, but overall she's become very underrated and not many people actually use her. So she's immune to focus debuffs. She gives 15% health to allies on special, so she's giving health. She's a really good support guardian. And she gains second wind buff, which basically means when you use your special attack during the duration, the damage taken during that time will be instantly given back to Dory. So that's 60% in total on her base ability. She gains 60% of the damage taken during the second wind buff. So overall she's such a good guardian to have and definitely very underrated. Now coming in at number 3 is an OG ranged guardian, and we have Gaston. Now Gaston's heavy attack deals wounds and it deals 100% damage, so heavy attacks are very important to get that wounds. So Gaston gains 15% critical chance when enemies are wounded, so you want to use a heavy attack to gain that critical chance. He also purges defense buff, so that's really good to have. And his special deals 800% damage when enemies are wounded. So you want to use your heavy attack, get that critical chance, and then use your special, and that's 800% damage. And he also has access to root, which is such a good meta in Disney Mirrorverse. So he's aged really well. He has some great traits as well. And overall, he's such a good guardian to have in Disney Mirrorverse and definitely underrated. Next, we have Eve. Now, Eve's been one of those guardians that has been overlooked in Disney Mirrorverse. She was decent, but she got a buff and it just made her a little bit better. And people really haven't used her that much since that buff. I think she's really good. She's immune to wound and poison. So she gains Eve shield every 10 seconds. If she is hit by a melee or tank with the shield active, she deals 100% shock damage over 10 seconds. And the shield can also stun enemies, so that's very important. Now specials deal 50% shock, and this can scale up depending on what talent you have. So this is one of the talent abilities. I think this is the elite one. So it's just more shock. She's just dealing so much shock damage. And the heavy also deals shock and also knockback with some of the talents. So she's a really good shock guardian to have. And her damage does scale up quite good. So overall she's a really good guardian to have and definitely underrated, like I said, for all of these 5 guardians. Now coming in at number 1 we have Buzz Lightyear. Now Buzz is super underrated. He's one of my favourite guardians in Disney Mirrorverse. So Buzz's basics remove 5% armor from enemies. Heavies remove 20% armor and deal 25% shock damage. When dashing, Buzz gains 50% focus buff for 2 seconds. Which is so good. His special removes 100% armor and applies 60% damage, and that's shock damage. And special also stuns shocked enemies, and he also gains armor when he uses his special. So he's just instantly goes into the fight and he's just removing armor from your enemies. He's also gaining armor, and his shock damage is so good as well. He's doing critical hits and he does get the fights done very quickly. So yeah, Buzz, very underrated, one of the most underrated guardians in the game, and honestly he is up there as one of the best. So that is it for today's video. I just wanted to make this quick video just showcasing these Guardians. They're very underrated and not many people actually pay attention to these Guardians, but overall I think these are very important Guardians within Disney Mirrorverse, and they can help any types of players, endgame players, new players, mid-game players, when you're progressing through the game. So if you did like this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.